question.
You only have
Am I connected? This is Mitra.
Yep.
Yep.
I am connected.
We hear
Okay.
you.
My question is here that how many people can be in this site and how is it going to work out? I got the, just registered myself yesterday and I want to know how to work out with this for Passover night. I would like to have it with my whole family.
I'm sorry. Can you which are you asking how to use the site or how to use
How to have this meeting?
how to have a virtual Seder?
Yes.
Great question. Okay. Also, hi everybody for who's telling us where they are. I'm pretty impressed by Chile right now. That's really bienvenidos a Chile.
Thank you.
It's great to chat with you. So to answer the question, so a couple of pieces. So the easiest answer I can give you regarding how to physically do this, and Cape Town, wow, we're so international this afternoon. The best thing that we can do, if you have two options. So the first one is you can decide to do it virtually and have everybody either on a platform like this, like Zoom, or you can have folks use a different video platform like Google Hangouts or House Party, which is a new app that is rounds. If you have children or grandchildren or nieces or nephews or godchildren in their 20s, they're probably familiar with House Party. But there's a number of different video options where you could have everybody on their phones or on a screen like a laptop like we are now by video, and then have everybody have a copy of the physical Haggadah that you can email them. Yeah, I think we should mute. Let me see here. I cannot, if people can mute themselves if you've got any background noise going on, that'd be super helpful. And when Eileen gets back on, then she can mute folks as the host.
I'm here.
Okay, great. I think, yeah, it's probably a good idea. Hi, welcome back.
Hi. I don't know if Rebecca explained. I'm unfortunately in an apartment right now with less than perfect internet connection, and so if you lose me, I'll be right back. But Rebecca's great for filling in the meantime.
We're a tag team effort. So you can have people join by video so that you can physically see each other's faces like this, and then all be using the same Haggadah that people can either download.
No,
oh, somebody else is not muted. Okay, great, thanks. That you can have those folks look at a physical Haggadah that either they print out or that they have open on a tablet or another screen. So that's one option. You can also do things as that we're doing right now, which is that everybody, you're sharing your screen. Let me see here. Let me pull up a Haggadah real quick and I will show you an example of how you can also do it. I think it just depends a bit on the level, your level of comfort with technology and the other folks at your Seder's comfort level with technology. So here we go. So let me share my screen real quick. Great. So if you see here, now everybody can see, raise your hand if you can see, and just give a wave if you can see this Jubilant Haggadah. Everybody see that? Yes, let me see these hands. Yes, okay, I'm getting enough hands. I'm gonna keep going. So if you see this, I can just share my screen and I can tell everybody, and I can make this so that everybody is on this Zoom and is seeing this. And that way I, as the Seder leader, can take us through the sections of the Seder as we go along. It depends. I think the question is, do you want to be seeing each other's faces or do you want to be seeing the Haggadah? That's really what your question is. There's also people have been asking in the chat around there's pros and cons. So somebody brought up FaceTime and Zoom. Zoom does have limits for the amount of time on the free version. You may decide for your family, okay, we're going to pay for it this year. That's a very valid decision. I'm not paying for any air flights. I'm going to do this instead. There are also things like FaceTime. I'm not an Apple user. Eileen is, so she can answer better about how FaceTime works. But House Party and Google Hangouts, and those are great for having a group video chat.
So with FaceTime, you can conference in multiple people. It's when you're starting a new FaceTime call, you go into, I think you're searching for your contacts, and you can add more than one contact. I will say that we tried this a couple nights ago with a family call, and unfortunately, not all members of the family were able to show up on video. So that was a little bummer. I'll give it away. It was my own parents. They couldn't show up on video. And so I need to figure out if it's because they're on an old version of FaceTime or what. We ended up having to switch to Zoom, which everybody was able to get on. Google Hangouts is also great. Remember that I was just on a Google Hangout last night where some people had trouble signing on because, a lot of us have 2 different email addresses. So if you send out the Google Hangout information, tell your guests that they should plan on joining the Google Hangout with the same email address that you emailed them with.
Right.
And then just to follow up regarding viewing the Haggadahs, I do recommend that depending on how long your Seder is going to go, and the ages of some of the attendees, you might want to print it out because we have an option. We have many different options for downloading. So I'll pull that up and show you as either as a PDF. And that PDF can either be a portrait orientation, like an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper standing upright, or it can be landscape orientation where it's printed on both sides. So you'll double side it, you'll fold it over, and it'll make a booklet. It's actually really cool. The print booklet is actually smaller than in the portrait view. So I recommend downloading the portrait view PDF. If you want to really be able to play with the size of the font, you can download your Haggadah as a Word document, bring it into Microsoft Word or even Google Docs, and bump up the font there. A common question that we get when you're downloading your Word document is sometimes the Hebrew gets mixed up. You need to there's a Hebrew language pack that's associated with Microsoft Word. We've got some information on it in the FAQ page of our website. And I'm actually going to just chat everybody the link to that page just so you can have that ready to go in case you are thinking about doing the Word document download.
Great. There's some questions in the chat about, I think, the questions around how to download just a few things to add to an existing Haggadah. We can help you with that, but you'll just want to upload those clips. And you can make a Haggadah with as much or as little as you want. You can just start with a blank template instead of one of the existing ones. As far as having a personalized Haggadah, hi Esther K. A personalized Haggadah that you distribute to members, there's
The volume just went off. You're muted. You're muted, Rebecca.
Sorry. A clergy member had asked about having a Seder experience that each household does individually. My best advice there is that you can create one on the site and then download that and email it out to your members as you can download it as a Word document and then have that available to your congregants to be able to use each on their own. There's some questions around how to have clips. This is a question I don't know the answer to, Eileen. How to have clips on the site, how to have collaborators on a clip that where the clip itself is private. Is it a way to collaborate on private information?
So generally, it's better to make it public. On clips themselves, we can only have one author per clip. My recommendation, if you wanted to collaborate on a clip, at that point, I would just share the login information. So you're sharing one account with somebody. If you're collaborating on the Haggadah, I need to double check, but I believe that it has to be public in order to collaborate.
That was more the question. That was more the question, was collaborate on the Haggadah, but but it's a family Haggadah. It's not relevant to the public, and wouldn't want the kids' art necessarily to be out there for anyone to grab.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna, this is something that has come up a lot in the past few days. To be honest, I think because of the unique circumstances of this year, there's some new questions coming up. Before, in the past, people who wanted to collaborate, for the most part, were okay with their Haggadahs being public. But I'm going to look into it and see if there's a way we could easily add this feature in the next few days where you can choose who gets access to a Haggadah specifically. Because I can't guarantee we can do it, but I know it's been on a lot of people's minds.
There's a question about printable Haggadot and if they're still available and what the costs are associated with that.
Okay, so everything is for download on the site. So you can always download content from our site and send it to a printer. We do not sell specific Haggadot. We just encourage you to get your Haggadah done early enough so that you can send it to Staples or a local printer. I think, Rebecca, let's make sure to follow up with everybody with our recommendations of printers after this. And that reminds me, if you're not already on our mailing list, please leave your email address in the chat so we can get back to you with this information. Otherwise, we're pretty good, especially in these days before Passover, of sending updates to our mailing list with all of our tips. So now back to downloading. So I'll show you, I'm going to share my screen so you can see the different options for downloading. And I realize that I've talked to some users who have been longtime users, and even they don't know all the options that we have. So right now we're looking at the minimalist Haggadah. So if you wanted to view on your screen, as Rebecca showed, you could always click through. There's also a table of contents below. So you can always jump to different pages until your Seder guess where you are. So if you go over to this eyeball over here, that'll let you switch to the portrait view. So it takes a little bit of time to load. We're also working on getting this faster for you. We're actually doing a big upgrade to our server in the middle of the night tonight. So if you were planning to use the website at 4 in the morning Eastern, I'm gonna just say, tonight, go to sleep instead. And then when you wake up at 6, it'll be ready. So as you can see, it's a little bit different. It looks really good also if you were on an iPad. And the font is a little bit big, so it's easier to view on the screen. So those are the two screen options for viewing. Then when I want to download, I go over to here to this download button. Okay, you're going to be prompted to donate. I will say we rely on donations. That is actually the only way that the site is funded. I have been telling many people that I am terrible with the business model lately because it's important to me that this is free and you donate what you want. That being said, once you donate, you don't have to donate again every single time you download. And if you are in a tough financial position, we totally understand. It is still free for you. You just click right over here and you can download anyway, okay? So then once you get to this download, and once you've donated, you'll see a similar screen. You can choose between the two options. So you get that portrait size where the font is a little bit better, or you choose the booklet where the font is smaller, but you'll print it double-sided, fold it over, and you've got a nice half letter size booklet.
Eileen, are you still sharing? Because it doesn't look like you're sharing. Is she still sharing? I don't
Yeah.
see it.
Yes.
Okay, something happened on my end. Sorry, I don't see it.
That's okay. Sometimes windows get lost. So, and also notice when you have two options with when you're going to download the portrait view, and only one option for the booklet view. So with portrait, you can download a PDF or you can download a Word document. I'm going to just show you what happens when you download a Word document. I'm going to download. You can see for Macs, I use Chrome. Chrome is pretty good about showing you that you've got a download in the bottom of your toolbar. If you can't find your download, check your downloads folder on your computer. Chances are it's there. There have been some instances, which I don't think we're going to have this year, where some people are trying to download at work and their work has a particular firewall that's keeping them from downloading. We can imagine most of you are home right now. But always, if you try to download and you can't, email us. We do our best to respond to every email that comes in, especially, you know, even if you're downloading the day before or even the day of Seder, we are checking email. And so don't feel bad about it. That's what we're there for. So I'm going to open up this Word document. I actually, let's see, I'm going to first try opening it in Microsoft Word. And here it is. One thing you'll notice, it's actually Haggadahs. You have the option of adding this background image as well as the front cover image. I can tell you that in Microsoft Word, we have tried and tried to get that background image to show up, and it won't show up. So if you know you're going to be downloading in Word, there's really no reason to worry about what that other image is. Just, you know, keep it blank. And then you've got your table of contents. And then you've got all of your pages there, and you can edit it. So the Microsoft Word download is a pretty good way to go, especially if you're very visually oriented and you want to change the fonts. And you know, because we have to make this because the site is on a budget, so we couldn't allow you to necessarily do all the design changes that you'd like. We have to say automate where the page breaks are. If you're concerned about that, the Word document download is the best for you. So what other questions do we have?
There's a question here about adding a specific clip. Somebody had asked about adding the orange and women, and so maybe it's just a good opportunity to show an example of how to add a clip to a Haggadah.
Okay. To add in the that you understand about searching, because we do have so many different writings. I think we have something like 50,000 clips on the site. It's insane how much we have. So first thing, when you get to this data library, you can search by clips, search to just know what you're searching for. We tend to feature our favorite Haggadahs up front anyway. And then, so I'm just going to see what we have on the orange.
Now remember, when you spoon this stuff in, if the walls and pastry are going to be a bit, if you don't fill enough, you're going to end up, well, with kind of a caved-in tin. Just wouldn't be right. So.
While Eileen does that, just Barry had had a question about printing the Haggadah. You can choose to not have a background image. That's one of the options that you have when you're creating your Haggadah. You can have, excuse me, you can have either one of our pre-printed images, you can add something else, or you can leave it blank. It's all totally customizable. And also, I guess Eliezer, it says you had an important question. I'll let you it's easiest just to put it into the chat. And then Eric had a question about donating. So I put the link to our donate plans, our donate page on there. So Eliezer had a question about having a Seder in your house, but can't invite your mom and her fiance because of, because they may be potentially exposed to the virus. These are challenges that we're all facing. We talked a little bit about how you can host a virtual Seder at the beginning of this webinar. And also we did this Q&A, and we did an entire webinar last week about how to host a Seder remotely. So I'm gonna put that in the chat, link to that. We recorded that webinar and you can watch that on our site. But the short version answer to you, Eliezer, and for everybody is, we're just encouraging everybody to, use our site where they can. Give me 1 second. And similarly regarding questions around foods, I think, look, I'll say for myself personally, I live alone, and that there is, we're all, I think, going to be, this is going to be a Passover not like any other. As Rabbi Rudin pointed out, there are some rabbinic authorities making, I don't want to use the word dispensation because it sounds so Catholic, but making rulings about how, how people are observing the holiday. Leniencies, thank you, that's the word I was looking for. And how folks are observing the holidays. I think everybody has to make the decisions that are best for themselves, whether that's consulting with a rabbinic authority or consulting with your own heart to know what makes the most sense for you to be able to observe the holiday. What I'm personally doing is thinking about what are the couple of foods that are really, really important for me to have, and what are the ones that I'm okay not having. So I'll go out and try to find horseradish because I love making my own and it's really important to me, but others may not have that. Eileen, I'm not sure we're hearing you if you're still on there.
I've been on mute.
Okay,
I've
just checking. Just checking.
Okay.
Great. Okay, so I'll throw it back to you now.
Okay, great. So we've talked about the importance of logging in. You won't be able to create an account because we just won't know. If you try to come back, we won't know who you are and what you saved. So I've logged in, and once you log in, you get to your library. I have my Haggadahs here that I've made. I have Haggadahs that I've saved that I just like. I have clips that I have created. So clips are basically articles or videos. Any individual piece of content that you would put into your Haggadah. And then the clips that I've saved are right here. So there's two options. You can click here to create a clip. You also, once you've logged in, you've got your account on the upper right over here. If you roll over your icon, you've got a list of your Haggadahs, and I can click here to make a new Haggadah and a new clip. So I'm going to click here to make a new clip, and I'm just going to say Eileen's orange clip, and I'm going to categorize it. It's very helpful for other users to find your content if you categorize it. So I'm going to say that it is, maybe a secular humanist clip, and it's a wellness meditation clip because I want to talk about a meditation on the orange. People tend to talk about the orange in different parts, actually. I'm going to talk about it before we get into the main Seder plate items. So I'm going to put it in motzi matzah. And then I'm going to make it public because I want to share it. If you don't want to make it public, that's fine. Just click private, and I'm going to create my clip. So now we have our text. The title, just click up here, and I see that overlay come up again. or you get a message if you're me that says your internet connection is unstable. Nevertheless. Okay, so hang on. We just got to wait for my internet to catch up. Any quick questions we can answer while we're waiting for my internet to not be terrible?
I think we're all caught up there, but oh, somebody just asked about having breakout rooms. Great question about breakout rooms. So breakout rooms are a more premium Zoom feature. They can be really useful if you've got folks in different locations who want to be able to talk to each other separate from the larger conversation. If the breakout room is just like these two people who are physically in the same room together and those three people, I wouldn't bother doing it. But I think you're asking about having like the younger cousins do a breakout in there, which I kind of love. So you can either, again, have that be a Zoom feature, or it may be a time to say, we're going to take a pause and let the younger cousins do a house party or Google Hangouts chat separately, and then I'll come back to the other Seder. The how can you share what you've done in the past? That should be saved, Susan. If you log into your account, you should be able to access your past Haggadot there. And Robin, this whole webinar is here from Haggadot.com. And we are here as the both as the sponsors of this Q&A session and that in general. I do want to come back to the Afikoman question, but I'm going to let Eileen take it back on the screen.
Rebecca, actually, can you take over with the screen share? And then
Sure.
I'll be fielding questions.
You got it. Actually, yep, okay. There.
Okay, so we had a good question. Maybe this is an opportunity for some group feedback. How do we suggest hiding and finding the Afikoman? The first thing that comes to my mind, you know, I'm just improvising here, is let's say I'm hiding the Afikoman and I decide to put it somewhere in my kitchen, and maybe we do a round of like hot and cold where people can start guessing where it is, and then whoever you know is able to guess the place where it is wins. I don't know. Any other ideas?
I thought about Pokemon Go is what came to my mind first. I don't even play Pokemon Go. I am not that millennial, but I feel like there's somebody possibly in your families who are Pokemon Go folks and know how to make Pokemon's places and pick whichever Pokemon looks most like an Afikoman and whichever is very square shaped. And that would be my suggestion.
Yeah, maybe it's like, you know, almost like a Where's Waldo, like where, you know, you like can, if for those of you who have like a Photoshop skills, or maybe I make this and we put it on the site, you know, like we've got like an image and there's like a hidden Afikoman somewhere in the image, and like whoever looks at you don't reveal it until the Seder, and whoever locates it first wins.
Yeah. Rabbi Rudin had an idea of also playing 20 questions. So maybe it's like it's hidden somewhere in your mind and you have to ask questions about where that is. That would probably be a really great thing to do if like there's a grandparent's house that's a part of the Seder where everybody knows that house. Like I can think about like my grandparents' apartment, which, you know, nobody's lived in from our family for 4 or 5 years, but I still know every place of that apartment. And so maybe that would be something. All right, I'm going to share my screen again. Yeah. Or are we doing more questions? Those matzo stripes want to be Waldo stripes. Yes. This is great. This is probably our most fun question so far about Afikoman. Other questions that we can help answer for folks? I'm going to check the Facebook Live again.
So for those of you who don't know me, which is probably most of you, I'll tell you, I'm actually living in London right now. We moved here 2 months ago. My husband is a professor and teaches at LSE. So it's wonderful being in London, although we're stuck in our apartment. And I would normally live somewhere with much faster internet access. But since I wasn't, you know, like many of us, our plans have changed. There is the great irony that I run this, you know, project organization, and at my busiest time of year, I'm stuck at home with like the slowest internet possible. So thanks for bearing with us.
Do you want to?
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Mindy.
Yeah.
Hi, all right. So I sent something in the chat which said, would the Microsoft Word allow me to take a friend's Haggadah and adapt it and add some of yours? However, I don't know if it actually sent because it looks like it froze. Do you see that? I sent it to everyone.
I don't know, but I can answer that.
Okay.
So
yeah.
you're saying that if you download a Haggadah from Haggadot.com in Microsoft Word,
Right.
Can you then add stuff from your friend's Haggadah to that?
Correct.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you'd probably be then, what format is your friend's Haggadah?
I believe it's handwritten. Every year she says she's going to update it, and then she doesn't. When we've physically been there, we've used her written one, but she's now in Florida. I'm here in New York, and she's like, well, we're just going to stay home. It's just going to be us. And I'm thinking maybe we can do a session through Zoom or something where we can link it together and say, hey, why don't we do this on the computer?
Yeah, I think the fastest way to get her content into your Haggadah is for her to take pictures of those pages with her phone.
Yeah.
You know, she should make sure there's good lighting. She's at a good angle, so it's a pretty, you know, straight on picture. If she can, you know, I'm guessing if she hand wrote it, she maybe isn't using a computer and scanner.
It's very computer lit. It's just that when she wrote it in, she's very able with computers. It's just that when she wrote it, again, it's a family Haggadah, and it was adapted, and she's just always pulls out that same pack that we've used when we were there. So she can take the pictures of it, and then what do we do?
So once you have the photos or the scans of it, you have those saved on your computer. Drag those photos into the Microsoft Word file. You know, make them big in the page. They might have to take up the full page.
Right.
But it should work because if you've got, you know, a picture of a page, it's printed or, you know, in a document that's the size of a page, it should be pretty legible.
Okay.
Another really, I mean, I was going to suggest something. I was going to suggest you go and make photocopies, but that's probably not happening. I would say the scanner is the best tool though, because you can insert those pages into the Word document.
Okay, so I could tell it to take pictures and scan them into it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, Rebecca, are you able to share your screen?
Yes, ma'am. Yep. There we go. Yes. Okay.
Okay, so let's go back to that making a clip. So if you can start over, start a new clip.
Yep. Great. Can everybody see that? Yes. We've got
Yes.
type your clip. Okay, great. What do we want to call the clip?
Rebecca's orange clip.
And we decided it's going to go, oh, I'm sorry, the category, feminism, and then we're going to put it in Matzah.
Yes.
My favorite section? Great.
Okay, great. So as I was saying before we got cut off on my end, if you scroll to the top, that Rebecca's, and if you click edit title, you'll get back to that screen where you can edit the title if you wanted to change it.
There we go.
And then Rebecca, you take it from here.
What do we want to, we're just going to put in whatever text here. Yep. So let's say we're going to say the origin of the orange on the Seder plate has been widely debated, but at the end of the day, we put it there to remind us of women's leadership in the Jewish community now and for generations.
That's beautifully worded.
Thank you. So they gave me the big bucks here at Haggadot.com. All right, so we're going to save it. Oh, should we say clip source? I'll make myself the clip source, but otherwise we could make a different.
Right. Sometimes we get questions of what the clip source is. If you are pulling content from somebody else who, of course, gave you permission, or their content is not copyrighted, it's great to put that mention here. Or if you found it, say, off of Wikipedia, you can put Wikipedia as the source there. So it's just helpful. You know, we really want, we're all about remixing, but we also like to give people credit for their work.
Great.
And so,
okay, do we want to add media, or do we want to just leave it like this?
We can leave it like this, but let's just show what the options are. So on the upper right, you have options to click through to add either an image. So you can choose a file from your desktop there. It's pretty sure you just choose a photo and then click to upload. I don't think we need to do that.
Yeah,
at the moment.
so you just click through. Okay.
And then you can, if you are on SoundCloud, you can insert links to SoundCloud files. So that's great. They have a lot of blessings or songs on there. And then the video is on the right. The really important thing to remember with videos is that you don't want the link to the YouTube video, you want the embed code. I see this happen a lot, and I think we're gonna do a blog post that explains this in more detail. Whenever you watch a video on YouTube, there is, oh great, Rebecca's gonna show us right now. It's once you've learned how to do it, it's pretty simple to get the embed code.
Let's see what
You just gotta remember
first.
Yeah.
Totally random. Great. Let's pick this puppy.
Puppy.
Great. Nope.
No, we're not talking
That's a
about
heck
that
of
now.
a choice there, YouTube. We're just going to fully ignore that, and clearly their algorithms are not great. Where do I go to find the embed
share? So under the video, go to share. Okay, and so you get the embed code right there. You copy that.
Copy.
Okay, then you go back to Haggadot.com. And in that window where the video is, copy the embed code in there. Okay, so that long code is the embed code.
I learned something today. There we go.
Okay, and so now make sure you save the clip.
Yep.
If you're working on a Haggadah, we can also say add to Haggadah. But first, Rebecca, why don't you click view so they could see what it looks like. Oh, on the left, yeah.
Yep.
So now your YouTube video will show in the clip, and when you're going through the Haggadah, if your family is planning to look at the Haggadah on screen during the Seder, this video will show up right in their Haggadah, and they can click play. So that's pretty cool. So then we have some options to add to a Haggadah. So you like this clip, you're feeling inspired. Maybe Rebecca wants to make a whole dog Haggadah now. She could add it to any of her existing Haggadahs.
Put it into test for now so it doesn't end up into some actual Haggadah. But here we go, and then we can view it there. There it is. So it's right here in the Motzi Matzah section where we categorized it.
Somebody asked if we'll have access to the workshop later. Yes, it's being recorded. We'll put it on the blog. There's also, in our FAQ section of the site, there's other videos that also show this pretty concisely too.
Somebody had asked about inserting a picture of an orange, but I think we covered it. You can use any picture, again, as long as you have the permission. I would either look for, there are some pictures of oranges on the website, or within Haggadot, you could just search for orange. And then if you don't find one, I would look for, you could probably search for like free image. Something like an orange is a reasonably common type of an image that you could probably find.
So somebody had a really interesting, there's some people who don't have virtual or in-person family to connect with over the holiday. A lot of us are in this really unusual situation where maybe we have some friends who sometimes invite us for Passover, but not always. I'm curious if anybody in the group has ideas for ways to connect with Seders. Obviously, I will do the plug for, we are hosting a virtual Seder on Sunday, April 12th at 2 p.m. Eastern, and you are all welcome. My dear friend and journalist Esther Castanowitz, who is on this call, Esther, you can wave or say hello. She will be co-hosting with us. Esther is my favorite non-rabbi. So that's on April 12th. But I'm curious, a lot of us really do want to be celebrating Passover on the first or second night. Feel free to unmute yourself and call out ideas if you know ways that we can find other virtual Seders or just connect with small groups to get to a Seder.
Link us.
Yes.
So,
Adrian.
So I'm actually hosting my Seders virtually this year, and if anybody would like to join in, they're welcome to. I will post this on Facebook. I have enough room on my Zoom account for up to 100 people, and I can't imagine I'll have that many people. I'm going to be doing two very different Seders. The first night, I have to figure out which night's going to be which, but one's going to be secular humanist with more of a social justice component to it and a teaching, and the other one is more of a traditional Seder. I was thinking, Eileen, that maybe we could have just on the site a series of people they could RSVP to. Say, these people are holding open Seders, and RSVP here or contact this person, and then when the person has too many people or what they feel is enough, then they can take their name off of it.
That's a great idea. And
send
so
her email, and yeah, we'll post it. Yeah. Sorry.
We have a Seder Finder page that we put in our Passover 101 section that's up in the navigation. Obviously, those Seders that we had previously posted are now changing. So send us your virtual Seder if it's open, and we will post it. I have been informed also there's potentially some cool new platform that I don't want to share anybody else's secret, but there's potentially a cool new platform launching maybe next week that's also going to help us connect with virtual Seders. So stay tuned for that announcement, because once it launches, we will be a partner with them too. Rebecca, can you show how to collaborate? Yes, question.
Sure, I'll just really quickly, and then I'll go back to sharing my screen. I just posted 2 documents in the chat that actually I haven't even had a chance to share with Eileen yet, but they are from a modern Orthodox perspective. So if you are not Shomer Hagim, you use technology and things on the holiday, these documents may be a little not less aligned with your level of observance, but if you are particularly, or you have family or friends who are observant, these are some really great resources and sort of framing and intention and information for folks who are going to be by themselves potentially, not just for the Seder, but again for people who are observant for an entire 2 or 3 days of a holiday where they don't have access to technology and things like that. So it's some really nice ideas and things there. Also, I'm seeing that Susan is putting a videotaped Seder on her YouTube channel. So Susan, again, please shoot us an email with that information, and we would love to share it if it's open. So I will go back to sharing my screen here and switch back to this browser. Okay, so we want to collaborate.
Right, so just show, yeah, invite friends to collaborate. You can invite me.
Great. Do I put in your email? Yep.
Yeah. So, and then we'll just zoom out of here, and Rebecca can include a message too.
Oops.
So this is Rebecca's test Haggadah. This is the page where she will edit it. If you scroll down, you can see that for each section, there's an opportunity to insert a clip. And when she invites me to collaborate, I'm also able to add clips to this Haggadah, but I don't have to sign in as Rebecca. I can sign in as me. So I can still add clips that are under my name. So I can have my own profile as Eileen. I might want to put my artwork up there, and if people see it in Rebecca's Haggadah, they'll know it came from me. Rebecca, also, why don't you click on that add clip button that's on the right of the sections.
Yep.
So this is one of the coolest part of the site. I mean, I don't know if I can say that since I made it.
You can.
I think it's pretty cool because you can search through different clips. So you can search through my clips or community clips. So community clips is anything that's added by others on the site. It's the same clips that you would see in the Haggadah library page. Bookmark clips.
About the orange on a Seder plate, yeah.
Yep. Bookmark clips is anything that, since we're in Rebecca's account, anything that Rebecca would have saved. And my clips would be clips that Rebecca has created on her own. And then there is, on the top of this toolbar, like let's say you are browsing through these clips, and of course you can select them and add them right here, but you might have an idea for something that you want to write. If you go to that gray button up there, that will tell you, that will allow you to make another clip just as we did before, that will automatically add into your Haggadah once you click save.
So maybe we'll add, let's add this social justice blessing. So, and let's say I also want to add, I'm going to add the social justice blessing, and I also want to add this nice picture of the candle lighting. So I'm going to add both clips, and it'll put them right in there. And then let's say what I really want is have the candle lighting first. So I'm going to reorder and move that up.
So we have about 10 more minutes. We're going to be back on Friday at 12 noon Eastern, and we can definitely get more into technical questions then. Are there any other other questions that you really want answered today to help you, keep working on your Haggadah?
Just to be sure, we can go back to Facebook and get this whole,
anything else? Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure we can get the whole workshop on Facebook again later on. Because I'm a little slow. I want to make sure I understand anything.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find this on Facebook. We're going to keep the live stream. It will stay up as one of our videos. You can also, we're going to post it on our blog on haggadot.com. The best way to follow up for more information is to leave your email address below, and we'll put you in our email newsletter. That way, when we write, we're probably going to do a post about all of our cool Afikoman hunt ideas. Thank you, Esther, for volunteering to help us with that.
Oh, great.
So if we a lot of updates, so just getting on our newsletter is the best way to stay informed on the latest. If you don't want to share your email information, just remember to check the blog from time to time or Facebook.
And then there was a question about, somebody had asked about adding a video clip. If we recorded this, cool. Myra, so we'll send it and you'll be able to access this later with information about how to find video clips.
Thank you. Yeah, I came in late. I wasn't able to get in, so I'll go back and read. But I love this. This is so helpful. And it's a great way to connect everybody.
All right, thank you. Any other questions about anything? Passover, how we made this site. We've got 5 more minutes, so I'm happy to just answer anything.
I just to say thank you from Santiago de Chile. I am CEO from.
Cool. Well, then
very
I think
for us.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome so much. And I will say we have had questions about like adding Spanish language to our site. There are some clips in Spanish. I would really love it for you or anybody who is multilingual. If you want to translate some of the existing clips and send it over to us, or just like the more languages we get on the site, the more we could feel like this is truly a global Jewish, Seder together that we're able to have. So thank you and welcome.
I just want to, oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say thank you to those who are doing this. This is amazing. And I am so grateful and excited. I feel like that Jews are coming together from all over the world, maybe for the first time. And this has become a blessing, not a curse. It's wonderful. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
I would like to endorse the lady who has just spoken. And I'm working out that my children and grandchildren who live in Holland and in England, we'll actually all be able to have a Seder together for the first time in history. So it's amazing how with creativity and technology, one can produce something which would not have been thought of if it wasn't that we had these very challenging times. So thank you, everybody, for your assistance, your creativity, and sharing your brilliant technology and ideas with us.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you. And really, this site wouldn't exist if people like you didn't, show up and participate and share your work. This is really a community effort. So it's just so, I agree. It's just so, it's sad that this is the time that we're in right now, but this is a real bright spot that we're able to come together and be able to meet face to face and have this type of new experience. And I'm so happy that we're able to connect. I encourage you, if we're not able to be on another call together, I encourage you to be in touch and let us know how your Seders were. I love to hear stories about how your Seders were different, especially this year when we're really working through, getting creative. So please share it. My email address is on the site. It's Eileen@haggadot.com. I'll put it in the chat, and feel free to be in touch with additional questions or stories.
Eileen?
Yes.
I just wanted to encourage everybody to share the site and the Facebook postings with their friends, because even though you've been in business for a while, a lot of people don't know about haggadot.com, and this is a great time to get people together and sharing, the virtual Seders and their own Seders. So thank you very much.
Yes, thanks, Mark. Thanks. I also want to let you know that we do keep working after Passover. We expand. Our organization is called Custom and Craft Jewish Rituals. We are a 501c3. If you donate to us, it will come back saying it's to Custom and Craft. It's us. You might also get updates from Haggadot.com telling you after Passover to try making a Shabbat service or to download some of our DIY design toolkits. So keep in mind that this isn't just one holiday. We'll still be here for you.
We're hosting
after Passover, and we'll have more webinars on how to be creative with the recipe.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm just wondering, first of all, thank you so much. I had to cancel my plans to be with my son for the first Passover he was leading in Brooklyn, but now I'm thinking I won't have to be alone for Pesach. But my question to you is, are you in touch in any way with Hebrew school directors for stuff to do with kids during this time that everything is virtual?
Yes. So we have a list of synagogues that we communicate with, and we send them updates. We also are doing special webinars for innovative rabbis and their communities. And I believe we have a conversation next week with the Union for Reform Judaism to try to see how we might be able to help their educators. To be perfectly honest, the schools was not the primary focus of the site. We really, because of concerns about privacy, we've been targeting mostly adults, but it's become very clear how right now it's a great opportunity for schools to use it. So if you know of anybody who might be interested, please encourage them to check out the site and get in touch with questions.
Did I give them your email?
Of course.
Okay, great.
So Rebecca and I, in our last webinar, we closed it out doing a little sort of hands. So, in real life, you're sort of like ending a meeting and you want to say, go team, you all put your hands in. So we did this last time and it was really fun, where we'll all put our hands in, and on the count of 3, we'll end the call with just yelling Seder. So everyone get your hands in. And 1, 2, 3, Seder!
Seder!
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.